Welcome to Australian Kadampa Stories, where we have the opportunity to speak to Kadampa Buddhists here in Australia, learning about their spiritual journey. I'm your host, Colleen Isaacs, and today I get to speak with Kelsang Dana, our resident teacher in Canberra. Dana is very joyful and lighthearted, and I think we're going to learn a lot hearing from her. So, welcome, Dana. Hi, so nice to see you.
Thanks, Colleen.
Now, you're in Canberra, yeah, but not originally from Canberra. Yeah, you got there through Kadampa Buddhism and your job as a resident teacher. So, do you mind telling me how did you find Kadampa Buddhism? What was your life like at the time, and how did you find it?
Oh, right. When I first found Kadampa Buddhism, well, I was living in Sydney, so I've
Mhm.
lived in Sydney. I lived in Sydney all my adult life up until when I moved to Canberra to be the teacher here. And so at that time, I was um, in my early 40s, and I just had a really big life. I had so much happening. I had a really, really full life. And as so often happens, by the time you hit your early 40s and you have a big, busy life, you start to realize that you've got wall to wall problems. And so, yeah, so many problems. And some of them starting to really hit home and be um, painful. So I ended up feeling quite heart sore, and sorry, it's wobbling because my cat just jumped down. But yeah, I ended up with sore at heart, and I had been meaning to learn to meditate for literally 20 years, and just thinking, yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. And it's kind of shocking that 20 years can go past and you think you're about to do what you know is important. So, a couple of days after New Year, I Googled. Um, Look, my life was so busy with three young kids at home, and I was running my own business, and I loved going out and hanging out with friends. And I loved, I've got a lot of extended family in Sydney as well, all really important to me. So I was really specific. I had basically a 1.5 hour window in my week, and I knew that the meditation class that I needed had to be walking distance from my house. So I Googled, meditation
So many
class, balance.
requirements.
Yeah, yeah. And it's, of course, Geshe was just thinking, look, it's time. And so I discovered that there was a meditation class 5 minutes walk from my house on Monday evening, which was the one night I could do it because my ex-husband would come down and have dinner with us, and then I'd quickly leave. He'd do everything at home with the kids so I could walk up and have my meditation class. So that's how I found I found it. Yeah. So I felt very lucky about that. And I thought
Wow.
it
Yeah,
was
so
January.
like it all came together.
It was just okay, here you are. And it was a January topic, learn to meditate. And I looked on the website and it said a series of 4 weeks. And I thought, far out, like an hour and a half. Actually, back then the classes were 2 hours. And I thought 2 hours a week, like it's going to be such a squeeze, but I can just do it for 4 weeks. So I think at a stretch, I can do this for 4 weeks. But I walked out of that first class just like feeling like I knew something had happened. I just felt so good. And I just knew I'd found exactly what I needed. And I think by the third class, I was just like, this is my Monday night now. And I went to the same class every week for 3 years. I don't think I missed a class.
Do you remember what the topic was that first 4 week?
Yeah, it was learn to meditate.
Perfect.
Yeah. And of course, I thought that's all I needed, that I just needed a quick instruction on
Mhm.
how to meditate. But what I discovered was that in our classes, of course, you learn to meditate, but what you're receiving is extensive instructions on how to live, how to be the person you want to be, how to be a happy person. So yeah, that's why I just kept going.
Yeah. I mean, the title was so perfect for you because it's exactly what you thought you needed. I wonder if the topic had been anger management, for example, or art of acceptance, common titles of our courses. I wonder if you
Yeah.
would have gone.
It's amazing, isn't it, how many people that we talk to at our classes who say this topic is just exactly what I needed right now. So whatever the topic is, so often it appears
Mm,
for us when we really need it. So I love that magic.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Um, so you went to the Balmain class every day for every day, every
Every week.
week, excuse
Every
me,
week.
for
I
three
wasn't weird
years.
about it.
Yeah. Um,
Like
when
now,
did
now I
you
go
join
every
a study
day.
program or yeah? Well, now it's your job. But when did you join a study program or take it, that next level where this isn't something that I
Mm.
do once a week. This is something that I really want to integrate into my life.
I started going to the Sunday workshops every month pretty early on. I think almost straight away, because
Mhm.
actually my teacher, who was running teaching that branch class, always went to the Sunday workshops. So it seemed really natural to me just to start going to the Sunday events that the centre ran. And then fairly soon I just kept wanting more. Like everything I got from the classes and the Sunday workshops, everything I got was just like medicine and started to work really well for me in my daily life and my relationships. So I wanted as much as I could get, and I wanted to join a study program quite like maybe I don't know now, but maybe probably after 6 months I was hearing about FP and really wanting to do it, but it was Sunday afternoons, and with three kids who all played soccer, two parents and one car, there was no way I could be doing a weekend study program. And so I waited, and when I heard that there was sometimes Monday night FPs at some centres, I put in a request. And anyway, after 3 years, they announced that there was a Monday night
Mm.
FP starting, and I was at work. I remember now I got the email and I just clicked through and signed up on the spot. And I think I was the first person to sign up. So
Wow.
that was good. Yeah.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
made the wish, you put it out there, you actually made the request. Yeah, not just the wish, like you formally requested. And then
Yeah.
finally, yeah, things change and you're able to join.
Yeah.
I bet they
Yeah.
missed you at the Balmain branch class once you joined the study program on Monday nights. So when did you decide to start teaching? How did that happen?
I mean, this might sound bad. I'm sure it probably will, but the truth is, oh, this is who, this is who wants attention.
Oh, hello.
Um, the truth is, what from quite early on, when I loved receiving, I absolutely, obviously, I really, really got loved my that Monday night class, that branch class at Balmain, and I was really drawn to what that beautiful teacher, Katrina. I was just so fascinated by the way she was with us. I was really fascinated by
Hmm.
it. I mean, I was also receiving the teaching, but I also was really transfixed by the way she was with us, and that there was this new sort of
Mhm.
person in my life, a role that I didn't know
Mm.
existed, and I certainly didn't know I needed. Um, and I just really, really loved it, and I was so drawn to it. And at some point, that turned into a wish to do that myself, just to be, because I was just
Yeah.
so aware of what a beautiful, beautiful, special thing a teacher is, a Buddhist teacher is. And so I just, that
Yeah.
wish started to arise quite early on, like well before it should have, like before I had any capacity to actually do it, but the wish was there. And so then once I was on a study
Yeah.
program, I was um, so thrilled to be asked to start teaching a new little Simply Meditate class that the centre was starting up. Yeah, so that's how I started.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I loved what you said about uh, observing someone behaving in a in a way and having that connection with the teacher, and it was um, an important person in your life that you didn't like know that you needed or didn't know that you would benefit from, but that you could admire so much. And of course, I mean, I know Katrina a little bit. Like, it's so nice to hear that
Yeah.
that was her. Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a special teacher, and through a branch teacher, we make this then a connection with a resident teacher, and that also was just pretty mind blowing for me at the time to make a connection with the resident teacher of the centre at the time. That was a beautiful nun, Gendao.
That's I love hearing that perspective. So that's great. Thank you. And with, a busy family life, three kids, working and running your own business, how did that all work, Donna? To be preparing for class, teaching class, your own study, of course, keeping the professional work going. As an overcommitted working parent myself, I'm always interested in hearing, like, how'd you do it? With
Well,
blessings, of course, but also practically, how'd you do it?
no one's asked me that before, Colleen, but as I'm listening to you ask that question, I can just hear Genla Dekyong's voice when she says, "We do what we want to do." And I think it worked really smoothly because I really wanted to do it. And
Mhm.
I quickly just became aware that of everything, I loved all the wonderful things that I was doing in my life. I really enjoyed, obviously, being a mum. I really enjoyed where I lived. I loved my work. But I became aware that of all the things I did, teaching was the best thing I did. So it was easy to fit it
Mhm.
in. I don't know how. It just worked.